give you about a 3-minute tour on tiger maple. You know, we build a lot of furniture, and I would dare say that 8 out of 10 pieces we build is tiger maple. We've been doing it for years and years and years. And over the course of time, we've learned a few things that help us out, either by brilliance or stupidity, one or the other, probably more the latter. But one of the things that we've always run into is that people have a hard time sanding tiger maple, and it's tough to sand. But the biggest thing that we run into is that they don't know when to stop. And not only does this technique work on tiger maple, it works on any wood. The only caution I would give you is that when you're doing this on woods that are real prone to blotching, like maple or cherry or pine or something of that nature, go real easy with your colors. Now, the color that we use is typically an alcohol-based dye. You can use a water-based dye. But on woods that splotch, go real easy, meaning you just want to wipe it real light, just enough to get a little surface on it, because you want to be able to clean it all off. But that's not the case with tiger maple. What we've done here is we've literally just saturated it. And this is a piece that we just pulled out of a bin back here for demonstration. Now, you know, they always talk about going up through the grits. One caution of tiger maple: the coarser you sand it, the better it takes the dye. By that, what I mean is, usually at 120, when we start dyeing, the first thing we do is we put on a dye. We call that a trace coat. And that's exactly what it implies. Now, I'm going to show you this, what I mean, real quick. Now, what we have, if you can zero in on this, you can see every scratch and every line in it. The other thing that it does is that it swells the grain. If you use a planer or you use an abrasive sander, you will get a compression, meaning that the blades or the sandpaper, when it hits it, it actually will compress it a little bit, little teeny dents, because those, particularly as the sandpaper wears, by putting the dye on, it swells it back up. The other thing it'll do is that if you have glue, it's going to show it to you. So it actually makes a road map that you can follow, so you don't have to sit there and sand your brains out. Now, once we've sanded it with about 120, then we come back and we dye really good again. Then we will sand it with up to 150. Rare is the case, rare, I would say never, that we go past 150, because we want that dye to go down in the curl and really explode it. We'll come right back and we're going to show you the end results. Alright, this is the end result. On the bottom down here, this is the case where it's been sanded up to 150, dyed, and all I did was put just a little coat of finish, or wiped a quick coat of finish on it so you can see it. What actually happens is that by doing it this way, is that the curl, being soft grain, absorbs the dye. The light color is a hard grain, and when you sand it, the dye remains in the curl. The top up here, this is an example of where we used a dark dye as a trace coat, sanded it, and then used a lighter color dye over the top. And you can play with this a little bit. Doesn't matter, alcohol or water, either one, they will do the same. The whole gist of the game, if you will, is that every time you dye it and sand it, as I said, the soft grain, which is your curl, keeps absorbing the dye. And so what happens is you wind up with your curl being dyed 2 or 3 times and your surface only dyed once. Even on tiger maple that doesn't have a whole lot of figure, it's going to make it pop. Now, once you've got it dyed and your dye is dry, it's a good idea to take a good oil, something like a modified tongue oil. That's what we use. The reason we use it is that it dries. The pure tongue oils, they don't dry real well, but we use it as a base. And the reason for that is that the modified, or the tongue oil, whatever, Danish oil, whatever you choose to use, is actually going to soak down into the wood, and it's going to carry that dye deeper. It's also going to give you a whole lot more iridescence and really make your finger pop. Okay? Now, if you really want to have some fun, try putting a dye on, sanding it till you've got pretty much all your color off of your hard grain, and try putting a little color on it. The effects and looks and techniques that you can get with it are pretty phenomenal. I think if you try it, you'll like it. One other last thing before we go. Several guys have emailed and asked us what we use for sanding pads. It's real simple. Go to the carpet store. They'll give you some carpet remnants of carpet padding. Works great. See you next time.